Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off the 50-cent late pick 4 at Saratoga on Alabama Saturday with some stakes action. It's the smart and fancy. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the turf for fillies and mares. Play the pick 4 with a DRF Bets account. Sign up, get that $100 in deposit matches. Let's take a look at the field for the smart and fancy. It's a big field. We've got a big favorite on the morning line. The 5 Morticia is even money. The 3 Ladies Island has entered main track only. We don't want to see her. Morticia's just been rock solid throughout her career, Mike. She's won 9 times for Rusty Arnold, who's not only having a tremendous meet, but just having a tremendous year overall with horses like Concrete Rose. But you were right about her last time out. You didn't like her. She had a little bit of trouble in that race. Do you think that if she didn't have the trouble, she would have overcome?
It's possible she would have. She certainly did not get a good trip or ride last time. She has a major excuse coming out of the Caress. My problem with Morticia is, first of all, when you're talking about the Caress, I don't like the horse that won that race. Mamino did get loose on a relatively slow pace and wired the field at a huge price, and Morticia comes out of it with an excuse, but everybody saw her trip last time. I think it just makes her a short price once again, and she is not a horse that I want at a short price because I don't like her other races. I don't want to bet her off of her other form, especially at a short price in this race. Maybe she'll just win this time. She switches to IRAD. A better trip could make a difference. I'm not betting this horse at a short price.
I'm more of a fan of hers than you. I don't want to play her at even money in this race. I'm picked her second. Let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector. They have her up close to, I'm very surprised that Timeform US has this a blue bar situation, which means it favors horses on or near the early lead. I think there's some gas in this race, and there actually could be some hitting.
Yeah, I thought the pace was going to be much faster this time anyway than it was in the Caress last time. I think you will see IRAD try and go forward with Morticia. I think Broadway Run is going from the outside. I think Fire Key is going from the inside. I think this pace is going to be competitive.
Let's talk about Fire Key. Jimmy Ryerson's done a nice job since taking over with this horse, a win in the license fee over yielding ground, and she just seems to fire each and every time. 17 out of 30 in the exacta. She can make the lead. She can sit from well off of it. Yeah. She's going to work out a good trip under Jose Ortiz. Yeah. 4-1 is fair.
Yeah, I think it is fair. It'll be interesting to see what she does because she's a really good horse, and as you say, she runs every single time. I'll admit that since they've turned her back for her last 3 starts, which obviously she's a better turf sprinter. She's run well in all those races. I kind of wonder if she's not in the best form of her career right now, though. She's run fine in those races. I didn't really see big excuses in her last 2. When she won 3 starts back in the license fee, just got loose on the lead. She's not getting loose on the lead here. I like her. I respect her. I could use her at the 4-1 because I think that's a fair price, but I just wonder if she's a little bit off form right now.
Too much tip. The number 2 is going to be a big price in this race, although she has certainly improved off the claim. This barn claimed her with turf in mind, apparently. She has run well in both races. Big step up in class.
Yeah, big step up. She got a little speed, too. Maybe you'll see her go forward in this race. To me, she just has to improve by a lot to beat this field.
Let's talk a little bit about the 6, Miss Gossip. This is a horse that came off the layoff last time out. Might have been pace compromised in that Mominu race. It was her first start off of a long layoff, and if you believe there's going to be a pace, she can come running late. The question is she good enough?
Yeah, I don't know if she is, but if she's not good enough, she's not that far off of it. She ran some races last year that put her very close to Fire Key, who's going to be one of the favorites in this race. When I look at the Caress, she's just one of the horses that I want out of that race. I realize that she might be in a little tough here, but she's going to be a huge price. She had absolutely no chance last time, and I actually felt like she ran well, considering the way that race shaped up and that she was off of a long layoff. I think she's going to run better in this race. I think it's going to set up better for her, and she's going to be a huge price.
2 questions I have for you about the 9 Ruby Notion. 1, is it just a situation where she hasn't come back as good as a 6-year-old, or does she kind of need a little give in the ground for her best? Because she really did some good work last summer and into the fall over soft and good turf, and she ran 4th in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Something tells me, though, she just hasn't come back.
Yeah, I don't like her 3 races so far this year, but she could take a step forward in this race, and I agree. I feel like maybe a little cut in the ground is what she really wants. That's when she shows up with her best form. There's rain in the area for the weekend. She might get a little bit of a softer turf course on Saturday. It could move her up.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the kickoff leg of the late pick 4, the Smart and Fancy Stakes. Mike, you are Alexandra's biggest fan. She kicks like a mule in the stretch. You're just hoping this pace projector is wrong.
I thought that there would be enough pace in front of her in this race. I can't say that I love her in this race, Dan. I just felt like she might be an okay price. I know that she's a closer, but it's not like she's a deep 1-run closer, especially when Rosario has ridden her 2 and 3 back. She was at the back of the pack, but she was not outrun in those races. She really finished well. I'm not sure what was going on last time with that trip. I didn't care for the tripper ride she got last time in a race where the pace sort of held together in front of her. I think this race is going to set up better for her. I'm just hoping Rosario works out a clean trip for her from off the pace as she comes running.
Broadway Run gets blinkers for the first time for John Terranova, and maybe that's all she needs to get over the top. She sat the pocket last time out in the Caress, and while she wasn't really clear until inside the 16th pole, once she did have some running room, it just didn't seem like she really fired. I think the blinkers are going to make her a lot more aggressive, and you have to remember, she won the Coronation Cup last year on the lead, breaking from an outside post under Luis Saez. I think the tactics are going to be similar. I think they're going to go, and they're going to try to force Morticia and Firekey to take a seat and try to get the Momenu trip from last time. And if she can get that trip, she's good enough to win this race.
I agree with all that stuff. I put her second in my picks. I could have easily put her on top. I think she will run better here. You know, Morticia is going to get all the press out of that Caress because she did have a tough trip, but you know, Broadway Run had a chance to really go up there and be on the lead last time. If for whatever reason Dylan Davis didn't want it, he elected for the pocket. I think it blew up in his face a little bit. I think she can run better than that, and I think she will be on the lead this time.
I'm going 8, 5, 1, and 7. You're going with Alexandra on top, coming from way out of it. Give me numbers.
I have 7, 8, and 6 in this race.
Fun race, the $100,000 Smart and Fancy, kicking off the late pick 4 on Alabama Saturday with an approximate post time of 4:53 Eastern. You can bet it with a DRF Bets account. Sign up, get $100 in deposit match. We'll see if Morticia can get a better trip this time around in the Smart and Fancy. Best of luck.